good management can be distinctively shown from what South Korea has done and what North Korea has done.
The country that wants to improve. Now you know that how they are.
They're a very small country, but they're very prosperous because they know management.
When you know history, you can think better. Imagine that North Korea improved because they changed their rules that some other countries they can spend their money there, and
You're talking about South Korea, right?
Yeah, South Korea.
South Korea, because North Korea, they're not rich, they're not very prosperous. Yeah, but South Korea is one of the most advanced countries in the world right now.
Yeah, that if you studied its story, its history, and you can see that before 19 to 80, they were really bad. The economic, they have really bad economic, and after that they have improved. Why? Because they changed the rules. They started a lot of factories, like Samsung, and after that, you know that now Samsung is one of the most rich factories around the world. So yeah, that's one products of Samsung. Yeah,
it's a small country, but they have Samsung. They're making beautiful movies. Like they made the Squid Game, very high rating. They made the Parasite, which got a lot of Oscars. They're getting very good at art. They're getting good at music. They're getting really good at technology. They're getting good at economy. They're getting good at internet. They're a very small country, but they're very prosperous, but because they know management.
So what does it mean? It means that I have studied about its history. They when they started to improving, their people of that country help for their government, and imagine that they worked for 8 hours in a day, and after that they worked for 10, 12 hours for their country. Why? Because they want to, their countries need money, the country wants to improve, and uh, you now you know that how they are. I think that that's because of their people and their economic. They have studied about money, and they earn a lot of money.
First of all, I like the fact that you're very knowledgeable about history, because I really love history. I've read so many history books, and I'm in awe of history, because the more you know about history, the more you know about yourself, the more you know about the world, the more you know, like, the better perspective. Because like people who don't know a lot about history, they have a very narrow view of what's going on in the present day. But like when you're reading history, then your perspective becomes widened, way more widened, and then you can just see everything a little bit differently. You know how the world works a little bit better. So yeah, we were talking about South Korea, about Japan, about other countries. If you have a good management, if you know how to manage your people, and if your people know how to deal with different situations and just get together and work for a better future, I think you can just make a very prosperous country no matter where you live. And good management can be very distinctively shown from what South Korea has done and what North Korea has done. They're the same people. They're in the same island. They're the same race. They're the same language or whatever, but different management strategies. Democracy and capitalism and free market has brought South Korea to the world stage. They have the best internet, they have the best cinema, they have improved significantly in the fields of technology, they have the best universities, they have very good music, they're getting very popular around the world in every aspect, in every department. But North Korea, because of bad management, because of dictatorship, because of closed system, closed systems never work. Concentrated information networks, they call it. They never work because in today's world, I believe that the world is a changing phenomenon. It's like the world is a constantly changing sea of waves. And if you try to deal with it with a closed system, you will not have enough flexibility to deal with different changing circumstances. That's why I think if you're open to it, if you're dealing with it with an open mind, I think you can get further.
Yeah, I agree. And when you read this history, when you know history, you can think better. Why? Because you know everything. You can see from your other uh, degrees, uh, from other class, and you can understand better because you know before and that. Uh, and I love history because it really helps us for growing, for thinking, or for understanding better. And I don't know. I cannot remember.
No, I understand. You explained it perfectly.